mind. It's idea, right?
Okay.
So the B is to be perceived, like Annie said. So the issue is, if I light a candle, right, and then I come back, the candle is melted. However, to B is to be perceived under Bart's idealism, which means there must be a mind which is perceiving everything at once. We call that mind God. So therefore God exists.
Or you could go by the argument which I like to use, you know, I think therefore I am, by the famous philosopher Rene Descartes.
Yeah, Rene Descartes. That would also prove mind is the only certainly existing substance.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's first principle.
I mean, how about
exactly. So if
like
we
begin
can
to
establish
dissect
that only mind exists, and establish that only mind exists, we can establish that he is to be perceived, which means there must be a permanent mind called God perceiving everything. Oh my God, the eternal mind called God perceives everything. Are there any contentions in the argument?
Be a radical skeptic and just ask him to justify every single belief that he has. So funny.
Yeah, well, Mark because you know radical skepticism. You live in that external world, honestly.
You just have all the best pieces in place, don't you? You're a real genius.
Thank you. Please don't let Modus up, by the way, like whatever you do.
Yeah, don't make me bring Bosky in here. Don't make me bring Bosky in here, buddy.
Bosky said induction can give universal claims. Modus.
That was a troll. Come on.
Can you let Modus up, actually? Like Modus.
Yeah. Real good. Sorry if not.
LARPer.
What?
Yeah, so focus my argument like sound, valid, and limit.
I'm pretty sure he didn't track half of what you said. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, how is any Christian supposed to argue against that, bro? Like that's like a Christian.
I'm Christian in this scenario.
I mean, I have an argument
but
for
like
two
if
zombies
you
being impossible.
oh sorry.
You want me to real
I don't know
find
what
it?
zombies is. What branch of like logic is this that you?
Yeah, but it's really old, so it's not going to be good.
Philosophy of mind.
I might have to watch a couple of YouTube videos.
You can also use the let me see, I'm trying to think here what was that argument's name. I'm trying to think, bro. There's a lot of like good arguments that you can use against Christianity, but for the latter, there's also equal amounts, I would say, but ones that actually break through are, I think, hard. You want to go by the moral argument wars?
Would you want to run that like you run on me?
Yeah, I mean, like the moral argument is like the argument of the moral existence of God, right?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even affirm moral realism. I'm a moral errorist.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, where do we even go from here? Like as a debate, like where do we go?
Let up Modus. He's a good debater.
It's like Garth
This is good.
Yo, what's up?
So,
Liz Maniac, you should debate Modus.
Yo, God doesn't exist, prove me right.
No, okay. I'll prove you right.
What are you?
Yeah, let's hear the argument.
Alright, so prove to me that we're having this conversation.
Talk on me.
Prove to me that we're actually
Let's hear the argument.
We're getting into solipsism.
Let's hear the argument. Is that an
Wait,
argument?
No. Prove to me that when you're
solid premise one?
and you eat something sour is true.
Is that premise one?
No, it's not premise one.
Okay, so what's the argument? Let's hear it.
Dude, do I just give you like a combination problem or something?
Well, I asked you to prove that God doesn't exist. So what's premise one?
Alright, I got you. Alright, so going based off of the canonical cosmological argument, right? Alright, so premise one is whatever begins to exist has a cause of its existence. Premise two, the universe began to exist. Premise three, therefore the universe has a cause of its beginning.
Do you understand the nature of my question? Like, do you understand the gizmos of what's being asked?
Therefore it has to have a cause.
I said, God doesn't exist, prove me right, and you just ran a so-called theistic argument for God's existence.
Right.
So what's being asked is essentially to give a counter-argument for God's existence.
You said prove me right.
Just prove me right that God doesn't exist. Exactly.
Are you referring to God as a whole, or like specifically the Christian God?
Well, specifically classical theism.
Evolution.
Pretty sure that's not how debate works.
Wait, what's the argument?
And mind you, I have no experience of debates, but I'm pretty sure that's not how debate works.
So how do you know that that's not how debates work? I have no experience.
I mean, I'm not assuming that that's how debate works or how it doesn't work. I'm saying that that's, I mean, you're saying prove you right. How would I prove you right? God, I know God exists. And it's subjective. No.
Wait, you think God exists?
Subjective truth? Yeah, subjective.
Wait, God subjectively exists?
Can someone write that transcendentalist 6-7?
Subjectively.
I'm not sure how that works though.
I mean, it's a
God
subjective.
subjectively
It's subjective. Yeah, I mean, if you accept him, then he exists for you. If you don't, then he
I don't
doesn't.
think that is about.
I don't think that's how that works. It's not as if God
I
is
don't think
like...
that's related to existence. I feel like it's more related
Bro.
to personal connection, not existence.
God subjectively exists. If you accept someone as you know, whatever they are, you're subjectively accepting that person as they come. That doesn't mean that everybody else will be.
How is the omnipresent entity's existence?
Okay, that doesn't prove their. Okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Typically when we say God, we're...
Yeah, that doesn't prove God's existence, but you can't really prove God's existence, like I said earlier.
Okay. Can you justify that God exists?
Wait, I can prove that.
Okay, I'll justify that God
Okay,
exists.
let's
You
hear it.
first justify that our moral laws don't come from a moral law.
Wait, hold on. Can you prove to me that God exists or justify his existence without asking me to prove my own worldview?
Yeah, sure. I'll prove that God exists, and you first prove to me that what we're living for is true.
You just said sure, you agreed to the caveat, and yet in the act of you agreeing to it, you asked me to prove my view.
So I'll prove God exists if you first prove to me that when we did in fact come into fruition, it's random.
Dude, how many questions do you want to ask me? Look, is it the case
Yeah, I
that
mean,
you're
I'm asking the
capable
same
of...
amount of questions you are.
Is it the case where I'm asking the same question?
By randomness.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I mean, there's a random
So when you say
possibility.
weekend
that
is
this happens.
by randomness.
Yeah. Okay. So if we go by the main 25 Big Bang theories, right? Well, from what I got from arguing with someone else, I think it was Bohr's, and he said there's like a 50% chance of each one happening, right? So if we go by that,
There's a 50% chance of...
How
does that
if we
work?
split up the probability, right? If we split the probability to 4%, not 50%.
Oh,
okay, yeah, if we split up the possibility, there we go, I forgot to say that. But anyway, you get the point.
Can I debate? So I'm a Muslim and I would like to prove why it's not you. Look man, in Islam, we don't just say believe blindly. We use akal. Akal is reason, and fitra is our nature. First, everything in this world has a cause. You, me, this earth, none of us just pop out of nowhere. The universe exists. So it needs a first cause that isn't created, which is Allah. Second, look at the design around us.
why would I... Wait, hold on. Why would I confer that inference though? How do you trace the first cause to being Allah? that you managed to do that.
Wait, I'm explaining it now. Second, look at the designs around us. The sun at the top
Bro,
of the
wait. Let's just assess the first argument, right? You essentially said, given that there's a first cause, which I can grant, this first cause is Allah, but how do you infer those omni traits from just simply the notion of first cause?
the Quran.
Okay,
It
what's
means there in the Quran.
like?
You
I'm
waited
not actually.
25 minutes to say
I'm not
that.
gonna lie. I'm not interested in delineating whether the Quran contains like truthful content. I'm only interested in like philosophical arguments that establishes the existence of God.
Why is the host dodging? What dodging?
Look at his profile picture, bro. It's not worth reading about, bro.
Everything in this world has a cause. A tree comes from seed, rain comes from clouds, we come from a parents. If you keep going back, eventually you reach the very first cause.
Sure,
The main
but why?
second part is Allah, but like how did you get to
Like,
it?
when you say the first cause is Allah, are you just saying that when you speak of the first cause, that it's semantically equivalent to you saying, I believe in Allah? Or you claiming that Allah exists?
Yeah.
Then you just have like confused semantics there, right? To claim that God is just merely something that's the first cause. Because presumably you want to claim something like, presumably you want to claim something like the first cause is omnipotent. So I'm going to need you to orchestrate an argument that establishes that. You can't simply just, and this is like a fallacy in of itself, right? It's like a composition fallacy. You can't simply argue for, certain attributes of Allah and then claim that the entirety of Allah is true.
Yeah, so that would just be what I would call a regress fallacy, because the first cause must exist to avoid infinite regress. So such a cause must be necessary, I would say, eternal and independent and powerful enough to account for all existence, right? So these attributes, right, they align with what is traditionally considered as God.
So you can say that the first cause is I'm not sure what it is trying to say.
Hold up,
That's not, there's nothing wrong with
what's the issue with the contradiction?
Yeah, I mean, dude, did you not hear what he said?
Well, the contradiction is infinite regress. I'm not sure if their regress fallacy is understood.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna explain this again. Okay, well, say your point again, bro. Say your point again, because I'm about to crash out.
Me?
Who you talking about?
The other guy.
Me?
Yeah, my point here is merely establishing like certain traits of this, belief that you have doesn't actually give us reasons to believe in the entirety of the doctrine.
So I'm so sorry. Is Allah already challenged this in Quran? Like, were we created by nothing, or were we created by like the creators? Were we like made by the Big Bang? But who made the Big Bang?
Why would we need to know that? And on top of that, why would we grant that the Big Bang had a cause?
Well, not this.
Okay.
Because if there is a Big Bang, it's Allah. By the person who made the
Oh wait,
whole universe.
you were the one that was doing the regression fallacy? That's crazy.
is Allah.
There's no such thing called the regression fallacy. What's going to
It
be like
is.
the
Search
P
it
and
up.
not
It's
P
a
in
fallacy.
regression?
It's an informal error in reasoning where someone assumes a cause and effect relationship
What?
when an event's outcome is actually a regression.
What did you just say?
Search it up. Search it up.
What?
It's an informal one, by the way.
MRT,
Yeah,
if
so
you're not gonna speak
you just
clearly,
give
I'm
me the-
gonna remove you.
You give me the P and not.
Sige na, sige na.
Bro, what the hell's going on?
Wait, if you wanna be added, that's like, don't have.
Also, the regress fallacy doesn't apply here. It's a different thing. I just want to start it. So
Wait,
I
we
just-
define the infinite regress fallacy.
Can I define the infinite regress fallacy?
Yeah, Liz,
Yeah, I just told
Oh
you
my
what the
gosh!
infinite
no, yeah,
regress
I see defining it, giving you the first.
I mean, the point was that he was assuming that it was a cause and effect relationship. Therefore, the big bang
Wait,
caused the universe.
by the way, right? Someone could just posit that the universe is gonna be finite,
Knock
and
me,
there's
please.
this cause, right? And that's gonna be due towards the infinite.
Blah, 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 blah. All of this
Wait,
blah, blah, blah,
that
blah.
was not hominum, by the way. Can we be honest?
Is someone hearing this?
Yeah, wait. Can you tell me the issue with
Is this mic on?
with
Is this mic on?
temporalism? Can you tell me the issue with temporalism?
Matt, leave, please.
No, go back to your main point because I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm just very confused. Like, I looked up in the Wikipedia of like
Matt, please, Matt.
non-formal what's it called fallacies, and infinite regress fallacy isn't on there.
Yeah, so it would be an informal. It would be an informal.
I looked up the informal fallacy list. I don't know what like you did back there. Yeah, I looked at the Wikipedia of informal fallacies.
I'm telling you that I searched it up.
Infinite regress fallacies.
Okay, bro, I'm not just
Regress
involved
fallacy
in the
doesn't
semantics.
Are you sure it exists?
Bro, I just told you the definition. Why would I make up a definition for a fallacy?
Because that's what we do with the words. All we do is make a definition of words.
Oh, okay, so that's what you do. So you're being intellectually dishonest.
Wait, so do you think that when the word I came to be, like if there's like some kind of mind independent like semantic property that makes objectively the case the high is gonna be a salutation?
Bro,
Oh yeah, that was a fun one.
what is your point? I don't get what your question
Yeah,
is.
so obviously you're saying, do you think, or I'm just making the definition of the idea.
Do you think? No, I don't think, bro. I'm telling you that.
You don't think? Are you a pea zombie?
I'm a pea zombie.
You're
I don't know,
a
I wasn't
zombie.
talking
You're a
to
zombie
these guys.
because
That's
you're literally
I'm
not even searching for the proper
It's
definition.
like a sleep rage. You're
One,
yeah, I'm a
seems like you're
zombie.
sleeping because one, you're not even searching for the proper definition. If you heard me properly, you're actually tracked.
Wait, by the way, so you
I
gave me the
said
question
I didn't say
definition word for word
I
when I
didn't
asked for
say
the definition
anything.
again. So I don't know why you're acting like I'm not looking for the definition.
I don't know. I don't think you're brainy. I don't think
Right?
you're brainy.
And obviously
Is
not
your brain
brainy.
okay? Is your brain brainy?
I'm gonna go to bed.
Is your brain brainy?
Honestly, like, congrats to all of you guys on like knowing all of
What a
this.
genius,
It's actually
bro.
Yeah,
What
transcendentalist
Guys,
has a lot of
actually,
aura.
as an illusionist, I think you should put down numbers.
Yo, as a
That was a stutter, by the way. That was a horrible stutter.
As a Socrates, you should honestly go to sleep.
As a Socrates.
You're not
Wait.
rhetorical.
Wait, transcendentalist, why do you have that?
You're not
Lizzo,
rhetorical.
can you name me one book
Those things are
Socrates?
so rhetorical.
Lizzo, can you name me one book Socrates?
No.
Dude, obviously Socrates didn't write any books. So I don't know we went quiet. This guy does not know anything about Socrates. He doesn't know what Socrates is known for. He's known for not writing any books.
Yeah, and I'm saying you're not rhetorical.
I'm not trying to be rhetorical. I'm a God believer.
You are trying to be rhetorical. You're trying to make
No, no one's trying to be rhetorical. You're making yourself look bad right now. Yo, Modus, do I sound rhetorical right now?
Difficult.
I mean, you
Yeah.
have
No, I don't think I sound rhetorical. Wait, boys, do I sound rhetorical right now?
You don't sound very rhetorical.
Is speaking with like vigor and confidence like rhetorical right
Well,
now?
Hey, it's okay that you don't want to acknowledge that you regress, bro. But that's alright.
I regress? Yeah, what's the issue with temporal regress?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna claim auto concession since you're not tracking clearly.
Wait, so I have a question. So what if I like auto claim the YouTube kids? Can I do that now? I mean, you're not tracking, so I think I can auto claim that you group kids on the internet, dude. You're in the 12-year-old.
To be valid.
What exactly are we talking about right now?
Who is this yellow guy? Why are you so happy? If you're happy, clap your hands.
Boris, you do know monism is better than dualism, right?
What? I'm panpsychist. I'm in the illusion of panpsychist.
Wait, Liz, I do just want to ask, like, what's going to be the contradiction of infinite regress? If there is one.
Yeah, so the contradiction of infinite regress is that infinite regress is impossible.
Wait, what?
I don't think that answers my question.
Dude,
why
just
is it impossible exactly?
I mean,
That just sounds like you're just making the same assertion. What do you ask?
no, I'm actually.
P not P, therefore P and not P, amazing.
Thank you for your input. I appreciate it.
Like when he says what's the contradiction entailed within infinite regress? What do you think that entails?
I mean, obviously you're asking why it would be an infinite regress fallacy in the first place. You're assuming that it has to have a cause-to-cause relationship, right?
No,
There's different types of regress. It's not purely causal. You know that.
What's being incited when you say something like X is a contradiction? You're saying that's impossible. So claiming that infinite regress is contradictory because it's impossible, it just seems like question begging.
Well, I mean, then you would have to what's X in your sense? What would be X?
In this case, infinite regress.
Boris, you want to see my new jewelry?
Yes.
Alright, what's your ad again? Well, I'm friends with a bunch of people.
Okay, you're right. My fallacy would not directly apply. No, I get your point. My fallacy would directly apply. I mean, if you're assuming, okay, so let's say if you're assuming that the Big Bang caused the universe itself as we know it, then I mean, you can apply it.
No, we don't.
Contradiction in the internal argument wouldn't be correctly applied. My stance.
Dude, I love you. Dude, I have so much more jewelry. Yeah, wait, and by the way, this guy, there's I hope you know that, no one here agrees with causal infinite regression. Y'all agree with temporal infinite regression, right? So, we're saying there's an infinite regression in temporal sense, not in the causal sense. There's gonna be a distinction here, right? Do you know what the distinction is, buddy?
Yeah, explain your distinction.
Yeah, so one's gonna have to do with time, and the other one's gonna have to do with cosmic effects.
But those are contingent.
Oh my god, Boris, did you do that intentionally? Boris, I hate you so much, you're stupid. I just read the description. You piece of garbage.
I'm not running anything.
Oh my god, you're such a piece of garbage, I hate you.
Oh my god, run. Okay, so P1 is going to be rational agents that think their beliefs according to the Bayesian principles. They should prefer hypothesis with, hold on. Okay, they should...
Hello?
Yo, what's the argument for P1? What's the argument for P1?
Yeah, why should I accept that?
No, wait, so I asked you the argument, not whether or not it's analytical truth, right? So that's gonna be dodge number one.
Just to be clear, you picked this
That was absurd, by the way. Your microphone just cut, dude. Your voice is cut out, dude. Now we're repeating yourself.
Wait, why should I accept that theory of probability?
Yeah, can I?
That was a voice crack, by the way.
Look, just offer an argument as to why I should accept Bayesianism.
Okay, so P1, rational agents of their beliefs according to the Bayesian principles, they should prefer hypothesis with higher priority.
But just because I don't hate black people.
Wait, I'm not. Wait, by the way, you said my bit. I made that bit up, by the way. I said that. Right? So I don't appreciate my bit, and I'm not blah.
No, I actually never heard you say that.
Wait, I said it before you did. Boys was there.
Why should I trust his
Why are you
testimonies?
dogging me?
Oh, it's just gonna be self-interpretation. Anyways, so
Or would that be probability ratio for the veracity?
the universe is a moral patient. Premise 2, if the universe is a moral patient, then God exists. The conclusion is gonna be therefore God exists.
Oh my god.
I have an argument for God.
I'll take this as a doge in the room.
Oh, that's like bonus, right? That's like bonus.
Wait, Boris, were you in the room where like there's like those like 3 people tried to like rebuttal me?
Was that the one where you said the N-word?
No, that was a different. That was me being like ironically racist. So this guy named Questionable Stu, if you look at my comments, he left a very mean comment saying he's a character. He's incredibly pedantic and absolutely.
Oh yeah, I was there with that. Oh my
Watch
God,
out,
I was
Paul.
so
Buzzwords
sad.
and fallacies coming your way.
That was hilarious. I don't know why they wanted to buy that.
Yo, I just like to apologize to my girl. I actually stabbed her a second time, and we had to break up again. Okay, wait, we're gonna go. Let's go back up. Hey there, Bubba. Oh, he got dropped. Okay, wait. Can we get someone new to raise your hand? I'm getting kind of bored. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, amazing. You have someone already. Okay.
Okay.
That's the doge. Okay, what's going on? We came in. 1 second? It's no stop. You people are killing the room.
Guys, stop doing this, guys.
Guys, I spent $50 to get
Don't make me
this
stop
property.
removing
Something
my
Please,
that'd
Mel,
be
guys.
appreciated. Yo, Nene, if you could stop, that'd be appreciated.
I'm actually a ribbon moderator. It's really nice.
Yo, Emily, you there? Emily A-Cat, you there?
I'm back.
Doge. Dude, okay, so I
My
actually
goodness,
think
we're both
this is
down
bad. Okay, so,
Zap, you should
yo,
debate,
yo,
Nene
Tame.
on agnosticism.
Yo, Zap, I want to debate you, Zap, I want to debate you.
Hello?
Okay.
Oh, what's going on, Tame?
Hello?
Yeah, what's going on? What proposition do you uphold?
I don't have a proposition.
Yeah, you're getting. Wait, can I ban him from the room? Can I ban him forever?
Yeah, ban him from the
that,
room.
because I can't ban you. I'm leaving a negative comment, by the way, just to be clear.
Where's Johnson, by the way? Can you quit?
And then negative, and then negative 300, and then submit.
Itsfunneh.
Hey, stop, debate me.
No, Zap, debate me. What's the comment?
Oh my god, you stop with that, Boris. Jesus Christ.
Boris, give me a comment.
Boris, I don't know what is the greatest argument. Why are you being salty? I don't get it.
Wait, Zap, can we debate?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a God believer. What are you?
I'm a God believer.
Okay, so join.
And I do understand that, but I know that like if it's a ball rolling and you only see it in time, if you were present and only saw it in the middle of, right, so like it's an infinite downhill type of thing and the ball is constantly rolling, and whether it's changing form I have no idea, but it's just constantly rolling and you only saw your existence, right, which was the middle of whatever frickin' time, I don't know. You just weren't long enough to see the beginning of it. I could not answer to that. I just believe that even to create infinite, something has to create that. I just don't know how it can be the infinite. It probably is though, I don't know.
So then would you agree that the God is more complex than the universe itself, because Yeah, it can literally like create the whole universe, so it has to be more complex, correct?
Ooh, yeah, that's what I stated in the beginning. God would be beyond time and space, like
Yeah.
beyond the universe.
So also, wouldn't that make it more unlikely that there is a God because that it is more complex, therefore it is more unlikely that God came from nothing rather than the universe.
Before you repeat that, I did hear about like God being before the universe. My phone's about to die. Just hold that for like a second. I have to get a charger.
Okay. Hello, guys. Are you back?
Mhm.
Alright. Do you want me to repeat what I said, or?
Yeah, no, definitely. If you could.
Okay, so you agree that the universe is, or I mean, God is more complex than the universe, right? So my point is, wouldn't it be more unlikely that God came from nothing rather than the universe if God is more complex?
Okay, you said God. It'd be better if God came from nothing than the universe being what again?
No, since he's more complex, right? Wouldn't it be more unlikely that God came from nothing rather than the universe because he is more complex or whatever the being?
Yeah, it would come before universe. It would create universe, so it'd be beyond universe, right? Yes, that's what I stated.
Yeah, but wouldn't you agree that it's less likely that he just exists rather than the universe?
He exists
Because he's complex. Because he's more complex.
What do you mean? He exists Oh my, I'm so sorry. Could you please be like a little bit more in detail? I got really confused that question.
Okay, so God is more complex than the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you think there has to be a creator because the universe is so complex, right?
Well, because it had to start the universe. Not that it's complex. It has to be of existence. It just happens to be through the system. But I'm not going to get into that because that has nothing to do with what we're talking about right now. But not because it's complex. I just believe that there's a creator because for it to even exist, something had to start it.
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying now. I know this is a overused argument, but who created God?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I cannot state that. And if you kept going beyond, like if you kept going backwards and backwards and backwards, it's like going forward with numbers. On the line, the zero spectrum, there's as many infinite negative numbers as there is positive. So again, you can say, what created God? Another God. What created that God? Another God created that. That, right? That's the idea that something had to be created. So I understand that that sounds contradicting for me to believe that the idea of something having to start, right? Something has to create something for it to place it in motion, right?
Yeah.
So that's contradicting because then what placed that one in motion? And I understand that, right? But at the same time, the idea that it always exists also seems almost fundamentally impossible. I don't know, I cannot comprehend something just always being there. There has to be a recording of it, existing at one point, right?
Yeah.
Both of them seem almost contradicting a possibility, but at the same time not. So I really can't.
I'm just pointing out that both are pretty unlikely, you know? I'm basically saying the point you're making isn't very valid if you think the universe has to have a creator, you know?
And I can also equally argue that was always there is also unvalid too.
Yeah, I would agree.
And that's like the question, which one was true, or if there's a third party that we never even thought of, because I feel like a lot of our ideas of how the universe works, even though it does not have the same laws and principles that our Earth work on, right? So, of course, our ideas of how the universe started, or if it was, all of our ideas that are considered possible to us, have to also do or is influenced with ideas how our lives work on Earth. So I guess only a higher being, or really no being at all, really has to answer that.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that the creator could sense our existence or whatever, or that we're here, right? Yeah, you said that, right?
That also disproves our religion. That disproves all three of our theories: religion, my theory, and the most idea of atheism. I don't know if you believe that, but like the starting of time and God being existent, that literally disproved all three theories.
I know.
Yeah.
You said earlier that God sensed things, right? You said God sensed our existence and stuff, right? What does this mean? Does this mean that he's that there's divine intervention or no? In your opinion?
I don't know if I went into detail, maybe it would make more sense. I mean, if I were to see it in that sense, it'd be like, let's say you have a center, not saying that's the center of the universe, but just as an example, right? It doesn't really have a placement on the map, right? It doesn't really have a placement on the map of any universe or where it exists. But if it, in any place that it would choose to set its location at, it's like a wave covering every single direction. It isn't looking at anything specific. It just feels everything, and at the same time knows everything. That's what I meant by it.
So, no to divine intervention?
I'm guessing. I mean, it's not off the table though.
Okay. So, can you pray to it?
Yeah, I just don't believe it. I can't say 100% on everything. I just feel like it sounds dumb. I understand people are like, if you don't go 100% on something, why are you believing in that logic? Well, that's subjective, but at the same time, if you believe in something like subscribing to a certain belief and being 100% while not being a creature that is beyond everything, if you believe that there's a creature beyond everything, that also seems dumb at the same stance, because I can't stand 100% knowing or speaking for a god that I've never spoken to in my life. So,
okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Do you believe in an afterlife, though?
That one I have not thought too much about. I don't necessarily know. I really do not know. My sister, she's also an agnostic. She believes that we just float, or she's mainly leaning onto floating in space and basically being a part
of non-existence.
Well, I feel that your body leaves a soul, and your body has a separate purpose. It becomes more part of the physical part of like reality, but your soul almost becomes like not close to God, but you just exist like God without any of the principles of feeling or sensing everything at once. You're just not really existent, but you're just there. You're like an observer, right? Like you just sit there and observe. You don't really feel everything.
Like a ghost?
Confusing. She just said as a soul. She just described it as a soul. wandering through space.
Like, so you're a ghost.
That's her idea. I have no idea. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that sounds very depressing.
It does. She talks about it too, but the idea of like Buddhism, where you reincarnate within Earth, right? If Hinduism, I think it's different. Buddhism, it has to do like you get punished from karma. Hinduism is you get punished from karma, but like you become poor the next life. Okay, it's different a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're reincarnating within this bubble that only Earth really exists, right? Who says that you don't reincarnate somewhere else, right? Or into something else?
I want to ask, if there is, this is the hypothetical, if there is no afterlife, according to your idea, then isn't everything just kind of meaningless in the end?
Oh, no, I don't believe that there is no afterlife. I believe that.
No, I'm saying in the hypothetical scenario, because like, let's say that like it turns out there is none. Okay, I know you don't necessarily believe that there is none, but let's just say that there is none. Wouldn't that imply that everything is kind of meaningless? Like there is no meaning in the universe because you're just gonna die anyway.
I have thought about that. So I do believe that if God did create a system, it should be a system that, because it's a higher being, right? So it wouldn't create everything manually. That would be dumb. That would be wouldn't be efficient if there was a higher being. It would create a system with basic building blocks that have certain laws and principles and objectives, and those objectives start to divide and become more, I guess you'd say granularized, right? It becomes more complex within that principle, right? And they also mix it up, so like it becomes bigger and bigger. And an example would be like through evolution, right? The idea of everything creating, this idea that it's constantly improving everything, right? It creates Milky Ways. Within those Milky Ways, it creates galaxies. I don't know. Galaxy. You know, what's it called? We call our galaxy, right, with the sun. That's called the galaxy, right?
I want to ask, how does this explain, like, or give us meaning? Like, I'm talking about individually. How do we have meaning?
I am gonna be honest. I did become depressed like 3 years ago when I thought about this. Obviously, at this point, I don't feel depression about it. I'm not sad about it at all. But I did thought about like the meaning of humans, right? The idea of like why we take away like society that we create ourselves. It's probably the reason why is by when you become more self-conscious, you realize your purpose, right? And you're also programmed with the idea of not wanting to die, so you make a new purpose. So the idea that we live long enough to feed into the food chain to redo that exact same thing, because we are trying to keep the system that keeps Earth alive, right? And then that's the question of why is Earth created? Why are Milky Ways? Galaxies are created to keep a Milky Way existent, and Milky Ways are to keep like omnivores. I forgot the name of it, but those things, you know, bigger scale of it, right? That I got depressed from, but I don't know why. I don't understand why we are doing that. Why are we constantly having this pattern of like a bigger scale version of it? And it seems meaningless, and we don't understand what's the end goal of it if it's just doing the exact same thing in repeat, like that one doll. You know, those like dolls where you open the doll and it becomes smaller and smaller. That's kind of how I see this. Yeah, I don't know about that. I cannot answer it. I'm not God. If there was a God that's intelligent, I have literally no idea what's the end goal. So.
I think, this is my own personal opinion, I think that we are really insignificant in universe-wise, if you know what I mean. Like, we're like not even a speck of dust in the entire universe. And I think like material items like wealth, you know, relationships and stuff like that are just to distract ourselves from how insignificant we really are. like we build great temples and statues and stuff like that, all just to hide from our own insignificance, which is my personal opinion. I know it's a very bleak opinion, but you know.
Definitely with things like giving us like a society hierarchy, having like a ruler and followers, I feel like that is to distract ourselves from the simple, basic raw materials of just living long enough and contributing to the food chain and then reproducing and then offing. I feel like once you have self-realization, you'd be like, there's no way that that's like my whole meaning. I'm gonna give myself a new meaning. You still live in the same basic meaning of that idea. You haven't left it, right? You just distracted yourself from it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to relationships, I do believe that some things, like some of our emotions that we have and like chemical things, those are still our instincts of our point of living, just contributing to that system of continuing to living long enough to continue to reproduce. I feel like that's part of it, and we.
Yeah, well, if you believe in, oh, sorry. If
I
you
just like
believe,
people don't want to say that we are animals, but at the same time talk about love, which is a primal thing, as it's some kind of like God thing. It's not. It has nothing to do with like instinctual things. That's all I was gonna say.
yeah, well, if you believe in evolution, then you kind of have to agree with the idea that love and your feelings actually have no meaning at the end of the day, because all that is just brain chemicals designed to, make you have children and stuff like that. You have to face that reality that it actually means nothing if you believe in evolution.
The idea that it's not significant or will impact really anything, that is true. But the idea that for us as a creature, as what do we call it, social creatures, it does impact us. It does matter to us, and it would matter to us, because evolution would want us to do that. If we didn't really care about love and didn't creating like pacts and relationships, not even just like relationships through love, we wouldn't survive because we are a social animals that rely on other people to back us up, right? Like wolves. So that's what I mean. I think that's what is that what you believe in, or are you just saying it really does not matter at all, like under any circumstances?
I do think so, but if you believe that, then you have to admit that there is no meaning to those feelings if they're just animalistic to make us survive.
Oh, I guess so. If you look at that sense, that's a very sad way to look at it, but I
I know.
I could see it like that. Yeah.
It took a lot of, it was very hard to come to this conclusion, but,
100%. Like, do you understand, like, when you become, like, you don't have, like, a religion that, speaks for you, and you just kind of, like, follow, and it's more sugar-coated of life. Being realistic and humbling yourself is, it just feels like you're digging yourself, like, a hole when really you're just hitting the baseline of where you would be naturally. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think just knowing that we don't really matter and we're just a speck of dust is humbling to me in a way. I don't really need a religion to humble myself.
Oh no, religions don't humble yourself at all. The whole idea is to.
Well, it's actually sorry.
Like it's just controlling people. That's literally it. Most religions, ones that survived, I think.
I mean, yeah, but I kind of understand where they come from. If atheism is a hard thing to be, like being an atheist is hard because you kind of have to confront the fact that nothing really matters, and I think Christians and like all the other religions, they just want like some order in the chaos, if that makes sense. They just want they want to be like reassured, I guess. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And honestly, I'm a lot happier also feel like, there's downsides for having like religious life. Like every society has to be based off of some sort of religion or influenced by a certain religion that they have within that country, right? They have morals though. I feel like a lot of religions that did survive, at least they weren't like savage ones, and at least they have like some sort of morals to keep more of a happier life for people, other than just like saying everything is meaningless at the same time. Even though I do feel like that is true, I just feel like it'd be sadder as a society. We just would know everyone would just no longer have order or like give power to anybody, and just lose motivation. Or maybe we'll find realization and just come to terms with it. I have no idea.
If I'm being honest, I think religion is at least needed on a societal level because morality is an illusion that like keeps society